Hi, and welcome to another video on how to palm read. Today we'll be talking about probably the most popular topic here, palm reading the heart line. Love, love, love. So we'll also be talking about the marriage or attachment line, the children lines, and the Simian line. So, the heart line talks about the emotions, the ability to love, and how a person experiences the feelings. So, it's kind of like your attitude towards love. And so, the heart line starts here on the left side. And again, whenever there's a strong, clear line, that's always good. And if it's the strongest line in the palm, it just shows that this person is naturally ruled more by their feelings. And if it's straight, clean, unbroken, if it's a smooth line, it shows no indications of major emotional problems or traumas. And if it's feathered in the beginning, which I see in a lot of palms, it just shows that childhood could have been emotionally difficult. If there are any breaks in the heart line, it shows a serious emotional crisis or shock or a loss, such as a traumatic breakup, a divorce, or death of a loved one. If the heart line, though, is stronger after a break, it's going to show a positive effect on this person. So, for example, they could have gone in traumatic divorce, but relationships will get better afterwards. If there are any faint or broken, let's say islands, people can be confused. This person might be confused about their feelings. They might be moody or unable to relax with their emotions. Again, or even if you see chained markings, it shows lots of emotional tension. Okay, so let's check out about the heart line, the curve of it, and also where it ends on the palm. So in general, when the heart line has a curve to it, whether it's a little bit or a lot, it just shows the more romantic a person is likely to be. So a straight line is more passive. So they could be more the type to just think a lot about their relationship, but not demonstrate as much of their actions, or they might be just generally less romantic. So we'll start with the short ones. If the heart line is short and straight, like this, now these are your least emotional type of people. So this person could have a direct approach when it comes to sex and relationship. So intimacy can be possible without love for them, and or they can also be reserved and passive about receiving love. And this person might be more like super practical, loyal, dependable. They may need their alone time, but they can also be the type to show their love by doing acts of services. So practical things like their partner, such as like keeping the gas tank full in their car, so it's not really romantic, but that's how they show it. So like mushiness and romance is probably not their thing. Although here, like if you see like this hand with a slight curve, it's still, even though it's short, because it's slightly curved, it does show there is some room for hearts, flowers, chocolate, and some romance. So there's a little romantic edge there. So another thing about a short length for a heart line is I could also mean this person is cautious when it comes to matters of the heart. So they might be the type to move slow in relationship and take it slow naturally. Now, if let's say a heart line curves up, it's still short under the middle finger, but it has a really high curve like this. So this person's emotions, they can fluctuate, and they are living in the now, but they can be happy one minute and upset the next. And so they're more reactive, unpredictable, lots of energy and alive. So also keep in mind, they can be focused more on themselves than their partner. Okay, so if a heart line ends between the middle finger and the index finger, this person is they have a mix of emotional depth. They're loyal and they're passionate, but also they're practical and they have common sense. So they're less likely to have their heart disappointed by not putting their loved ones on a pedestal because they don't wear rose-colored glasses. So these people kind of have the best of both worlds, I'd say. Now there's another type where, for example, if it forks, let's say there's a heart line, but the end it forks. So there's two branches and one is under the index finger and then the other one lands between the index and middle finger. So this person is good-natured and fun, someone that puts other people at ease easily, so they're less likely to encounter problems in their relationship. So this person's pretty well-balanced, loving, sensuous, and romantic. And okay, let's have a heart line if it ends under the index finger, but if it's curved really high like this, it has a really high curve. So this person wears rose-colored glasses and they're very idealistic. They may idealize their partners, and so they don't see the negative sides. They might not see the red flags, but when they finally see this, the negative sides of their partner, they become super disappointed. So that's just one thing they need to look out for and can work on. And overall, this person, though, they're warm, they're affectionate, they're nurturing, very, very giving and loyal. So their love can last for years, sometimes even after a relationship has ended. Okay, now if there is a long line that goes to the other edge of the palm, now this is not a Simian line. I'm going to show you a Simian line later, but in this one you still see there is a head line and also a separate heart line. So it's just a really long line, goes to the other side of the hand. This person has a natural impulse to respond to others, and they might get pulled into so many different directions, and they might forget about themselves and just suppress their own personal emotional needs, and they can also hold on to relationships for a very long time. So they can find it hard to separate their emotions from their thoughts and actions. So this, again, that impulse to response to others, it's because this type of person can naturally care for and just have a great love for others, especially people who are helpless. So examples could include doctors and care workers and therapists. Now let me show you a line that looks similar to it, but it's called a Simian line. And this is when a head line and a heart line fuse as one line, like this photo here. So, yep, it's just one line. And it shows that the mind and the heart are fused together. So this person can have a difficult time telling the difference between their thoughts and emotions and separating them apart. So it can be difficult for this person to be rational if they have these strong emotional compulsions, and they can also have tunnel vision and find it really hard to see things from other people's point of view, and they can also find that change in life can be very difficult. So that's just a little thing about the Simian line. I don't see it as often. I think I've only seen it on one palm. So now let's move over to the marriage line that I know a lot of people might be excited to find out about. So the marriage line, it's also actually known more as the attachment line or affection line, or I think what a really more accurate wording for it is the relationship line. So they just show serious relationships that have had an emotional impact on the person. So ones that touched them on a very deep level. So for example, if you see 3 lines, it doesn't mean you're gonna get married 3 times. It could say that you had 2 relationships, maybe like 2 exes but those were really significant for you and they really impacted you deeply, whether it's positively or negatively still. And the third one could be your marriage, or maybe if you're not the type to get married and this might be just your life partner that you stick with to the end, but it hasn't happened or it hasn't come up yet. So again, I think a better way, people know this as marriage lines, but it really is more like deep relationship lines, as I'd call it. Now, the lines fall between your heart line and the base of your pinky finger here. So the lines down here are the relationships that happened earlier in your life when you were younger. So this hand has a relationship line that is a bit on the higher end. So I think this person will get married or, be with their partner later in life, much in their mid-30s, I'd say. Okay, now moving on to the children lines. I personally do not read children lines because they are very difficult to read on a hand. And it's a subject I know many people can come feeling very anxious asking about sometimes and wanting to know an absolute yes or no. Will I have kids? How many? Answer, is it a boy or girl? So again, for the children lines, it shows potential. It does not guarantee that you will have X amount of kids for sure. So I just want to put that as a disclaimer out there. Now, it's the lines that run off your relationship lines. So, by the way, keep in mind, children can also mean pets. They can also mean great creative achievements or projects that are significant to you, just kind of like such as books that you wrote. Okay, so when it's a girl, they do say that it can be a line that's somewhat slanted. It could be a bit more of a fainter line. When it comes to boys, it'll be like a marking here that's straight, and it might be a thicker line. So there you have it for the heart line, Simian line, marriage, and children line. What were you able to find on your palm? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button. For personalized palm, tarot, psychic astrology readings, check out our website and our blog at thehappyhealingshop.com. And finally, don't forget to check out our community events that we hold. A lot of them are free, online and in person, by following us on Instagram and Facebook at The Happy Healing Shop.